Hello, my name is Starlight. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and I'm reaching out to all of you beautiful souls out there. I hope you're able to get out in nature like Starlight was earlier. And I am here. This is my second video that I made today. And, I get 2 hours in the study room, so I said, hey, let's go for it. And anyway, I hope you're able to get out in nature like Starlight was. And like I mentioned in my last video, is there's so many things you can do out in nature. So I see it all over. I see people riding bikes, which Starlight will not be able to do that right yet. And I see people a lot of riding bikes and sports like tennis. Starlight loves tennis. You want to play tennis? Starlight loves to play tennis. I don't know if I'm good. There's so many sports and water sports, fishing, find a way, or even try something new to get out in nature. Bird watching, go for a hike and look for birds, go to a park, get out of the city if you can, But I do have to say, there are some beautiful parks in some, like towns and city areas. So you'd be amazed. I just found a beautiful park the other day. I found a lot. I mean, it's funny. I was in one park. Most of the people were negative and toxic energy. And I was like, this was not a good feeling for me. I'm like, I'm not going to go to that park again. And the next day, God blessed me with a beautiful park and beautiful people. Most of the people were very friendly. Smiles. I only got a few people really out of all the people that were in there that didn't have a smile or didn't even have eye contact. But it was a very beautiful park and the most friendliest park I've ever been into. So we need more of that. So get your family, your friends, even if you got older folks, if they got a wheelchair or walker, hey, say, come on, dad or mom, let's go take a walk, they got lots of places that you can go, where they can, little short walks, just to get them outside. And yeah, it does take some effort, to do that work, because I know what that's like. But you know what? They'll feel better that they did. Anyway, if you are new to my YouTube channel, welcome, and you can find me on YouTube, and that is at Starlight, and that is Kathy with a K Digman. Plus, you can give this video a thumbs up, and you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Plus, don't forget, you can leave me a message down below, beep, 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 and you could share any of my videos with anyone, and you can check out my playlist. Plus, you could also follow me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K Digman Starlight. So I love you all. And this, I met a man a couple days ago, and that is why, I made other videos similar to this, but this will be different. He was a veteran, still is actually, and well, he's not like out there, doing stuff, but he is, I don't know if he's quite government property right now, but I kind of believe so. So I don't know how long, they take care of the men and women after they did service, to whatever, military branch that is out there. So I just want to let you know is that you've been lied to, you've been lied to, you've been lied to, yeah, you and you and you and you, all of us have been lied to. I've been lied to, my family was lied to, their family was lied to, their family was lied to, we all have been lied to, and it starts way back in the beginning of time is when this lie, and they are still lying to us today, and they don't want us to know the big secret out in the world. And some of you, it's amazing, as I've been on this journey as far as, reaching other people in different states of the United States, I've been meeting, some people that do know, or some people were kind of on the fence. They're like, I don't know, they heard about it, but they, and that's where I used to be a long time ago, is I heard about stuff, but I put it on the back burner. I'm like, I really don't know if this person's being honest, because they weren't always being honest. And that's why it's so important to be honest. Not that we're always going to be absolutely 100% correct on everything we talk about, because there's different levels of growth and all that. God knows the heart. That's what's important. Whoops, I got an itch. And so when I say something, I really, for my best knowledge, sometimes I say, well, I'm not quite sure, but this is, like, I'm not going to word it right, but this is how I'm going to say it, because I didn't really write that note down, and I didn't know what I was going to say on my video. So we have been all lied to from the beginning, but I really want to talk about the veterans really right now first. And so the veterans, the people that have been serving, the world in different countries all over, they have been lied to, and there's different levels of, lies, depending on where they live, what country, and all that. But as far as I really can't say a whole lot about, outside the United States, but I can for United States area, with all these different men and women that have been out there, it is sad, is I am 100% against this. That's why I'm against public schools. The government is the ones that are running the public school. I didn't know this until my kids were younger, of course. I went to a church, and everybody in that church were homeschooling their kids. And when I found out that the government was the ones that were running the school, and when you sign your kids over, it's almost like you're signing your, it's like they're almost like government property in a way. If some really horrible thing happened in the world, what do you think is going to happen if your kid's already in the public school building, right? And they had some kind of lockdown or something, some horrible, and I don't want to plant fear in your mind, but this is stuff that I have thought about a long time ago, is, like, they could lock your children up in the school where they cannot get back out. So you really got to think, if there's going to be some kind of horrible thing in the world, that could possibly happen, with with rumors of war and all this stuff, that it could be something that could happen, so where do you think your children, do you think they're just going to say, oh, because you have a good job and, the school knows who you are and you work with the school, you think that, because sometimes there's some people, because they have lots of money, that they think, hey, I got money, I can do whatever I want with money, I can have my own way, because I'm someone, but that doesn't mean that they're going to let your kids out of the school, because the school might recognize you. Maybe you're putting money into the school system, because they know if they let your kids out of the school system, then all these other families are going to find out about it, and it's going to cause a big, huge problem, with the other parents. But for the government to be having military men and women to go to the schools and trying to get your kids out to a war, and I know this is hard for most of you to understand. Some of you might get this, and most of you more than likely are not. But the war is not out there, it's really inside of us. Imagine a world where everybody really truly loved themselves. Imagine a world like that they're not out there doing drugs to try to end their lives, they're loving themselves, where they're, imagine a place where you go to a store and it's all healthy food. It's all healthy food. They don't have junk food. They don't have McDonald's and Burger King and Kentucky Fried Chicken, and so the stores, imagine that, a world when you start off is that all the junk food is gone. Cigarettes, gone. Now, alcohol, I know, you guys are all screaming, no, no, there's no cigarettes, they don't exist. Now, alcohol is kind of a rough thing, because there is some alcohol, like wine. There's certain, like red wine, that is actually good for your heart. So maybe a lot of other stuff wouldn't even be out there. I know a lot of you are having a heart attack right there on that one. But imagine, really, all this stuff didn't have to be there. In the Bible, it did say how Jesus did turn the water into wine. So, but it's about the part of getting wasted. That's the problem. So maybe you're only allowed to buy so much of it, But of course, people would just go to another store. Hey, I only could get it at this store. But, imagine everything is different than what it is now. The animals are, I know a lot of you are scared of animals, but they're not afraid of us, and we're not afraid of them. Imagine when you have a world that, wherever you live, of course, this world where Starlight would create, people wouldn't be on top of each other living. And, like as I've been traveling, I see there's places where they have a whole bunch of duplex or whatever they call it, a bunch of, like, it just like loaded. I mean, I visited my son and my daughter-in-law, my grandson not too long ago, and I was driving around, I'm like, oh my, it just like, they cloned all the houses. Every single house looked identical. And they were all squished up really close. There was like really no space. But it was a whole area loaded with just houses cramped right up, and nobody has any space. That's not the world Starlight would create. Absolutely not. And in my world, there's no homeless people. In my world, the world I would create, children are not being abused. These kids are happy because they are not abused, and it's a different world, where they're actually happy, and they are learning at a much younger age to be able to learn about themselves. They're learning how to do yoga. They're learning how to deal with their emotions and how to do meditations. So in the education, it's not lies like the public school has. And I know I'm getting off a little track on this track here. And there's no war. Wherever you live is that, people are friendly everywhere you go. If there's a problem, you got so many people wanting to help you out. And when you walk down the street, everybody's happy to see you. And everybody doesn't look the same, of course. Everybody's healthier. There's no wheelchairs. People are healthy because they love themselves and they're taking care of themselves. So we really don't need a war. It has never did anything good in this world. There's many people that lost their families because of this, because of the government, because of the people that are running. It's not the government. Remember, they're just the puppet. It's the ones that are controlling them. And they're not from this planet. I'm not from this planet. Are you from this planet? Some of you don't get this stuff, but there's levels of waking up. Just like when you wake up in the morning, how do you wake up in the morning? Do you wake up and you're like, vroom, you just jump up and get out of bed and you're running around getting your coffee or whatever you drink and hurrying up and, or are you that type that, you wake up and you lay there, you're awake, but you just lay there maybe for a couple hours. So everybody wakes up at a different time, and some of you might be somewhat awake and others might be wide awake. Some people could still be sleeping right now. So, and that's why a lot of people have a hard time understanding how come there's so many different types of people out there. Believe me, there's different types of people out there. There's a lot of people out there sleeping. And if you told them the truth, they would prefer to listen to believe a lie than they would to believe a truth. Because that's the lie that they've done to all of us. For them, the people that are running this world to send military men and women in the schools, to get your children. Now, it's one thing, I don't mind sending officers at a school, to try to get more police officers, because we need, right in this world, not in Starlight's world. In Starlight's world, that we don't need police officers. We don't need a president. But in this world here, if we didn't have police officers, well, and then sometimes, what can I say? There's a lot of corrupt police officers, just like, like every kind of people, not just police officers, but doctors, nurses, lawyers, judges, politicians. So that is everywhere. And, we got the dark and light in all of us. There's nobody perfect. Only Jesus, God. But why do they send military men and women into the schools when there is not a war out there? Even though they made an illusion that there's a war out there, they created that illusion, and it's a big money-making system is what they have with the war. You can, they get a lot of money, they get a lot of money for this war. And a veteran that I talked to the other day is that he said, the whole time that I talked to him, he kept on crying, because they really are doing some damage on him right now, is that he went in the service at 18. He said, they didn't tell me all of this. They didn't tell me all this stuff was going to happen. They didn't tell me that I would be, being controlled to go somewhere and shoot little kids and families. They didn't tell me that they kept on giving them a bunch of drugs, medications. When those kids sign that form saying that, hey, yeah, I'm going to jump in and do this. I want to, be the hero to my town. I want my dad and my mom to be proud of me. I want to travel the world, and that's what they do. It's not anything different than what they do to other young women and men out there, like in the porn industry. They have been deceived and lied to. And really, why the age 18? That is a thing that should, I don't believe or agree with it at all, having a war. But 18 years old, they're still kids, aren't they? I call my kids still kids at 30. There should be no war anyway. There should be, a lot of you are thinking, well, Starlight, we need these military men to fight off the enemy. You know what? It takes two to have a war. Like, a fight. Where's your faith in God? People say they love God and they believe in God, but then they're sending their kids out to a war. Or they're the ones out there in the service. This guy said he was always pushed on like drugs all the time, medications, all the time. And like the porn industry, like they're deceived. Why? At 18 years old, there's some beautiful young men and women that get into that trap. Now they have it where you can, you don't even have to go to the porn industry. You can start your own website and make money at home. But you know how many of those young teenagers or even adults later on want to end their lives because of what they did? They thought nobody would know about it. They'll never be the same. How could they ever go back to a job after getting that much money an hour? Or, like to get that much money for a shoot, to go get a job out there. For how much for an hour? Like, hey, I don't even know what they make, for one shoot of a porn. After they're done with you, they spit you out and then they still collect your money from you. So even with the military men and women, can't leave the women out, is that, I heard not too long ago by military people is that a lady is that, if you tell them that you got problems, they don't want to hear about it, like toughen up, kind of crap. They're not being taught about self-love. And just recently this man was, God has been dealing with him, trying to wake him up, because now, they're being a puppet. They're a puppet. And the puppet master is controlling them. Hey, you signed the paper, now we're going to control. We own you. We own you. Just like the Hollywood stars. So the Hollywood stars, they got deceived. They sold their souls. That's pretty much what the people are doing for the military. They're thinking, hey, I'll do this for the military, where I'll join into the Army, the Navy, the Air Force or whatever. And a lot of times it's an ego thing, thinking, that sounds great. I could go in there. And, they let them know how many places that they can travel, and around the world and different countries and all that, the money. But what about your life? What about your soul? Are you going to find out who you really are? If I handed you a gun right now, are you willing to shoot innocent people? How do you know what you were told? And why would you want to shoot innocent people? You know how many times that those army, those military men and women been lied to? They went out and destroyed people that were innocent. And they were deceived. I have watched, it is crazy. For a chick, I've watched a lot of military movies when I was younger, and I wish I could remember one of the actors that did play in one of these movies, and I was like, I think it was, I love him as an actor. I gotta think of his name, but man, I know if I come up with his name, but he's a handsome man, but he played in one of these movies of a military movie, and it's like, wow, So why is this still happening today? why is it 18-year-olds, are going in there? Can't drink alcohol. We've heard that over and over again, right? You can't drink alcohol, but you can shoot a gun and kill somebody. So this guy that I met is that, they're bullying him, and telling him what to do, and he's had it. He doesn't want to listen anymore. He doesn't want to, he doesn't want to take the medications anymore. He wants his life back. And that's why it's so important that you understand how, they're manipulating those young kids. And that's why they pick them, is because they're young. They're not old enough to really think. They're too young to be sent to a war out there, to shoot a gun and kill people. I love to shoot a gun. I'm a one shot, one kill, bam, I'll get it right on the target. I've actually done that with family members, shooting a gun, and I did better than the guys did. So I love shooting. I don't need to shoot animals, and I don't need to shoot, people, innocent people. Those are people that are innocent. They're just there, So you got to be wise of what is really going on. And this video is actually, I'm not going to be able to cover everything I wanted to, because it really was about the veterans, but I did throw in other people like the Hollywood stars and the porn stars, because those are the three right off the bat that I can think of, because they want to see those teenagers, destroy their lives, and, Hollywood is the ones, and it is their fault in a way, because they did sign up to this and are doing it. They could, they signed that contract, and, if I got myself into that, I would find a way out. There's no way I could, like, I've definitely had offers in my life, believe me. My birthday is this month, and I have had lots of offers to sell myself, like for sex. Lots of offers. I had offers when I started this living in my car, when I got right out of my apartment, bam, the money I could have made, or the jobs I could have took. I didn't take those. I didn't do that. I could have gone out and got really good money being a stripper. I got it going on here. I am a dancer. I can dance. And I have a voice. I heard, actually, somebody said I have like an angel voice. So, but I am not for sale. I love myself so much. That's not how I know it would destroy me. I wouldn't feel, even though I could pull it off, not, like going to a strip bar and teasing the heck out of men. I got that. I could do that. I know the dance. I can dance, but it would destroy me, and I know it. Like if I did that one night, I wouldn't sleep all that night. So, and this is how God tests people out there. It is a test. It's a big test. We've been lied to. Those military men have been lied to all through history. And then, have you ever noticed where a lot of times military men, or, I don't really see women do that, but they always got to wear something that says, a hat or a jacket or a shirt, that let you know that I'm a veteran, and this is what it is a lot of about, is to, it's a joining the military, is that, it's just like, hey, I joined the military. This is how it all plays out. I'm sorry if you're a military man or a woman. This is how it is. It's that, hey, look at me. I'm a veteran. But that's how they got you in the beginning, is to get that job, to be to be a puppet, to be controlled, to have your rights taken away. You sold your soul, to the government, so they can tell you what you can and cannot do, And like, if you want to back out, you can't unless you get hurt. And there's a lot of men and women that, have tried to get hurt so that way they cannot be in there. They can't have them because, hey, we can't use you. So, and it's sad, so when I go out in public, I see those people, men especially. I don't really see women, or license plates that will let people know I'm a veteran. So that's how they got the people in the first place, is to say, hey, if you join us, you join the government, you be the heroes, people in the community are going to respect you. Because I met a guy the other day, had a veteran hat on, and he was not, I'll tell you what, I've met some people, just because they're a veteran, just because they went and served a service, there's some people, they wanted to join just because they want to kill people. They were a dark force, and they're like, yeah, I want to kill people. But how about the ones that weren't like that? How did that affect them later on? Still today, there's many men and women, they can't forgive themselves. I told the guy the other day, I said, it's not your fault. You got deceived. You got deceived in this shit. You really did. You got deceived. They lied to you. They didn't tell you everything. The drugs, whether they, you wouldn't even know. Like, I heard my one stepbrother, he was in the military, and they stuck stuff in his food, steroid stuff. He went in there skinny and tall, and he was in there for a while, came back out, and like, whoa, what the heck happened to you? What else are they sticking in that food? He can't, and he told me, they stick steroids in their food. But what else are they telling you everything? They didn't tell you everything when you got in there, and everybody joins in there for certain things, different things, so it is amazing. There's a lot of kids, teenagers that graduated, and there's a lot of parents and families and relatives and the government, the radios, the TV, the internet are trying to, brainwash these kids, young kids. Yeah, be tough, Marines, and all this stuff. They're going to regret it later on, and not everybody comes out alive. Nobody can predict really what the future holds when the war is going to break open. I've known people that actually they joined and nothing was going on, and after they got in there, that's when things started happening. They're like, wow, gee, when I signed in, nothing was going on, everything was peaceful. Bam, it can happen at any moment. Are you willing? Are you that person? My mentor said he doesn't eat meat, and he says, if I can't actually take a gun and shoot the animal, then I'm not eating it. So, if you're a teenager and or somebody, you don't even have to be a teenager, because they take men and women up to a certain age, to join. Are you willing to, say me, are you willing to just shoot me? Some of you probably would like to shoot me because you want me to shut up, but I'm not going to shut up. But, are you willing to shoot a little baby and their family? They didn't do shit to you. Are you willing to shoot them? It's a test. We are accountable for what we do, whether we were deceived or not. We have to answer to God what we do. So it's so important to wake people up, to let them know that they've been deceived. We all have been deceived at different levels. And I'm sorry this video is getting long, so I do have to end it. But I really wanted to make this video because the man that I met the other day, and his name was Rob. He told me his name. Rob Manson is what he said his name is. Manson families. Masons, that's what it was. Rob Mason. So anyway, I do love all of you, and I am not a slave. And I really do. That it is like, I don't agree with any of it. The government's, like having the military men and women to go into public school to get little kids. They are little kids. They don't know what they're doing. The whole time they've been in school, forced to go to school, pushed so hard. Why are most parents are so quick to hurry up and get them out to get it? I understand getting a job, yeah, to teach them responsibilities. But war, is that where you want to send you love your kids, right? Why would you want to send them out there anyway? So, because a lot of people want to send their kids out just to say, yeah, that's my daughter. That's my son. That's my kid. He's a hero. He won't be a hero. She won't be a hero if they never make it out. So this is something that really is on my heart, because I really got really upset the first time I seen a lot of homeless people where I used to live, when I seen veterans, and this guy that told me this story, they're not taking care of his ass. He was living out on a hiking trail for 3 months. How come they're not giving him a place to live, somewhere to sleep? Why is he out on a hiking trail in the woods, rain or whatever weather, in the heat? So anyway, I do love all of you. This is Starlight. You can give this video a thumbs up. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel. Plus, you can leave a message down below, beep, beep, beep. And you can also check out my playlist. And please share this video. It's so important, because we really need to stop, sending the military people into the school system. It's not the place. One thing getting officers because we need them. But in my world, we don't need the officers either. So also, you can check out my playlist, and that's you can check out my playlist and my Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that's Kathy with a K, Dingman Starlight. I love you so much, and I know this video will offend some of you, but really it is a part of, like, hey, look at me. We can't have that, because if you're thinking of, hey, I'll join, and then when I get out, everybody will welcome me into the town, but you might not be the same person. You're not going to be the same person who you were when you walked in, when you come out. You're going to be a different person. So anyway, my heart to you. I only say this with love. I see what they did, and I care about all the men and women, no matter what age. There's a lot of people, they want to kill themselves for what they did in the military. They can't get those visions of the children and innocent women and men that they killed. They can't get that out. There's no way you could get that out. So anyway, I love you so much. This is Starlight, love, light, and peace.